Seconds. That's all it takes to completely change everything.
I'm so sorry.
The film adaptation, It Ends With Us, comes from the book series from Colleen Hoover. This film stars Blake Lively as Lily Bloom, who falls madly in love with Justin Baldoni's character, Ryle. The book states that sometimes it's the one who loves you the most who hurts you the most. This morning, we're diving deeper into the theme of domestic violence and the uproar from the survivors community with the release of this film, because so many people have been talking about this now. Cassie Mecklenburg is the executive director of Sheltering Wings and joins me now. It's so good to see you.
Yeah.
So we wanted to talk about this because, especially with someone like yourself who has experience in this as the director of Sheltering Wings, someone who's seen the movie, what do you think is the biggest opportunity here to discuss and what you thought about the movie and how it's being perceived?
You know, I think it really spurs on a good conversation because there are a lot of components within the movie that are really accurate. For some people, it helps to show people the complexities of domestic abuse. And if people are wondering, you know, we get a common question, why would a person stay in a relationship? It really helps to draw some of that out because of how complex and complicated those relationships are. Yet at the same time, it romanticizes the abuse that's taking place. And what I mean by that is it creates and elicits a lot of sympathy for the abuser. And so we want to be really careful when we're looking at that to not excuse or justify why those things are happening. People have the option to make choices. And in this instance, Ryle is tormented by some inner demons of his past, and he's dealing with that. But even still, you still have a choice of how you react and respond in situations. And so we want to make sure that we're calling those things out and calling it what it is as abuse.
Yeah, we're seeing so many, I'm just talking specifically about women because that's what I am, so I've talked to more women. You know, Jim O'Brien's daughter saw this and said, you know, they cried and it really opened their eyes to different aspects. When someone is either has seen it or going to see it, I wonder too what you would like for them to really consider when they leave, to talk about what is it about what they should be recognizing, maybe within their own relationship or one that they may have someday?
Sure. So when we think about how we can respond to people who are experiencing abuse, this movie really does a good job, in particular with a friend and a mother who come around and they believe her. And that's one of the things where she doesn't have, it's not depicted where she's questioned at every turn, which is pretty common for survivors of abuse. And so this is a great indication of a way that you can support, but it's also something to think about. This is one story. This is one person's situation. And so not all abuse looks like this. So don't use this story as the textbook for what abuse looks like, because it's going to look different for other people. And so we want to make sure that we're talking about the physical, the emotional, the verbal, the sexual, financial, spiritual abuse that people can be experiencing. And so not to use this story as the textbook, but have it help frame your understanding and inform those perceptions of what it could look like and ways that you can help a friend as they're experiencing that, and that they don't have to stay in those relationships, that help is available, that resources and options, that they don't have to stay.
You mentioned too, you just kind of took us through about, I don't know, maybe 8 different forms of different kind of domestic violence. Would there be, for maybe somebody that's watching this morning, that maybe we always try to kind of define a sign, which I know that there are many different. What would you say when you're talking about whether it be sexual, you know, mental, spiritual, physical, terms with money, all of those things? What do you even say to try to describe how big that could look?
Yeah, so to be sure, abuse can happen in an instant. One time can be an abusive situation, but typically what does happen is it escalates over time, and you'll see a pattern. People oftentimes will ask us, how do I know when it's unhealthy versus abuse, or if, you know, if there's an opportunity for things to be rectified and to turn things around. And to be sure, abuse can happen one time, but be looking for patterns. Look for those ways where you might be feeling controlled, or gaslighting is a really big thing. It's depicted in this movie where he is turning a situation and putting the onus on them together. It was an accident. Look at the mess we made, those kinds of things. But really, it was him.
Yeah.
He had those options. And so help people to look through and decipher some of those signs to really point out the reality, not just what the other person is trying to impress upon the situation by manipulating and controlling your perception.
We're out of time on this conversation, but quickly I wanted to put up the full screen because there are 5 rules to rescuing survivors to domestic violence. I want to have that up there so that when we do put this up on Fox 59 after the show today, someone can kind of freeze that and look at that, and then maybe that can help you too, because we want you to get help if you or someone you know is experiencing this type of domestic violence in your own life. We'll have more information on connecting to Sheltering Wings and the resources that they have. The number to call for the National Domestic Violence Hotline, 800-799-7233. That is all there for you. We want to make sure that you get help if you need it. And Cassie, as always, good to see you. We sure do appreciate you and your expertise and knowledge.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's 9:18.